In this podcast episode, David Pakman discusses the principles of social democracy, the polarized political landscape, and the importance of media literacy. He explores the role of diverse opinions in governance, the implications of voter ID laws, and the dual nature of debt in economic growth. The conversation also delves into historical contexts of economic policies and the necessity for balanced budgets to ensure societal stability. Pakman advocates for a straightforward approach to social democracy, emphasizing its role as a regulated form of capitalism. He argues that social democracy does not seek to eliminate capitalism, but rather to ensure that it operates in a manner that benefits the majority of the population. This is achieved through the implementation of social safety nets and public services that enhance the quality of life for citizens. Pakman contrasts social democracy with democratic socialism, clarifying that the former maintains a capitalist framework while promoting regulations that foster equality of opportunity and prevent extreme poverty. Pakman points to successful examples from countries like Denmark, which have effectively implemented social democratic policies. These nations demonstrate that it is possible to achieve high standards of living and robust economies while maintaining a capitalist system. By learning from these examples, Pakman believes the U.S. can adopt similar policies that prioritize the welfare of its citizens without abandoning the principles of a market economy. In discussing the current political climate, Pakman expresses a desire for a Republican Party that engages in substantive disagreements based on facts rather than hyperbolic claims. He notes that political discourse has become increasingly polarized, with both sides amplifying their differences instead of focusing on shared values and goals. This polarization, he argues, detracts from meaningful debate and hinders effective governance. Pakman advocates for a more fact-based approach to politics, suggesting that such an environment would lead to healthier debates and better decision-making. He believes that fostering a political culture that values evidence and rational discourse is essential for addressing the complex challenges facing society today. Pakman emphasizes the importance of a government that encourages diverse opinions and perspectives. He suggests that a team of rivals approach could lead to more effective decision-making. By bringing together individuals with differing viewpoints, the government can better evaluate policies and their potential impacts. This collaborative approach can result in more informed and balanced outcomes, ultimately benefiting the public. The inclusion of diverse perspectives is crucial for addressing the multifaceted issues that arise in governance. Pakman believes that when individuals with varying opinions work together, they can challenge each other's assumptions and arrive at more comprehensive solutions. A significant theme in Pakman's discussion is the importance of media literacy and critical thinking in navigating the current challenges in political discourse. He argues that many Americans lack the skills necessary to discern facts from opinions, which contributes to the polarization and misinformation prevalent in society. To combat this issue, Pakman advocates for teaching media literacy and critical thinking skills from an early age. By equipping citizens with the tools to evaluate information critically, Pakman believes that society can foster a more informed electorate capable of engaging in meaningful discussions about policy and governance. This educational approach is essential for creating a citizenry that can navigate the complexities of modern political discourse. Pakman also addresses the need for regulations in the media landscape to ensure that information is accurate and reliable. He suggests that without proper oversight, the spread of misinformation can undermine democratic processes and lead to a less informed public. The responsibility for seeking out accurate information lies not only with individuals, but also with institutions that provide it. By implementing regulations that promote transparency and accountability in the media, Pakman believes that society can mitigate the risks associated with misinformation. This, in turn, can help restore trust in the information that citizens rely on to make informed decisions. The conversation shifts to the topic of voter ID laws, where Pakman expresses support for such measures, provided that all associated costs are covered. This pragmatic approach aims to ensure electoral integrity while addressing concerns about accessibility and equity in the voting process. By advocating for comprehensive solutions that consider the needs of all voters, Pakman emphasizes the importance of balancing security with inclusivity in the electoral process. A significant portion of the discussion focuses on the dual nature of debt as both a facilitator of growth and a potential source of economic risk. Pakman argues that while debt can enable growth by allowing governments to invest in infrastructure and services that stimulate the economy, it also poses risks if not managed properly. He highlights that countries with low debt to GDP ratios often lack the capacity to absorb economic shocks, which can lead to severe downturns during crises. This perspective underscores the delicate balance between leveraging debt for growth and the dangers of excessive borrowing. Pakman emphasizes the need for responsible fiscal policies that prioritize sustainable economic practices. Pakman references the economic landscape of the 1970s to illustrate how extractive institutions can initially drive growth but ultimately lead to stagnation. He points to the Soviet Union as an example, noting that while centralized control over resources may have facilitated initial growth, this model faltered as it resisted technological advancements that could disrupt the status quo. This historical context serves to underline the limitations of extractive institutions and the importance of inclusive economic policies that foster innovation and adaptability. As the conversation progresses, Pakman and the host express differing views on economic data and predictions. Pakman is skeptical of the long-term sustainability of high debt levels, citing historical patterns where excessive debt leads to economic collapse. He references Ray Dalio's thesis on long-term debt cycles, arguing that while some countries may currently appear stable with high debt-to-GDP ratios, history suggests that such situations are often unsustainable. The host counters this perspective by pointing out that many economies are functioning well despite high debt levels, suggesting that the relationship between debt and economic health is more complex than Pakman implies. This disagreement highlights the ongoing debate among economists regarding the implications of debt on economic stability and growth. The discussion culminates in a focus on the importance of balanced budgets, transparent taxation, and efficient government spending. Pakman advocates for a fiscal approach that prioritizes accountability and sustainability. He argues that if governments can maintain a balanced budget and ensure that spending is directed toward effective programs, they can avoid the pitfalls associated with high debt levels. Pakman emphasizes that the government should not inflate the money supply irresponsibly, as this leads to a loss of purchasing power for citizens and creates a cycle of dependency on debt. He concludes that while cutting government spending may be politically unpopular, it is necessary to achieve a balanced budget and ensure long-term economic stability. Pakman expresses concern that failure to address issues related to debt and government spending could lead to significant societal unrest or conflict. As citizens react to austerity measures and the perceived mismanagement of public funds, the potential for social discord increases. This highlights the critical importance of responsible governance in navigating the complexities of economic policy and ensuring the well-being of the populace. The conversation reflects a deep engagement with the complexities of economic policy, the historical context of growth and debt, and the need for responsible governance in navigating these challenges. By advocating for a balanced approach to economic management, Pakman underscores the importance of prioritizing the needs of citizens while fostering a sustainable economic environment.